Hey YouTube, what is going on? Back again with another training vlog. For this one, I didn't really record the warm-up. It's actually seems like one of my older style videos where I just do like kind of just the big movements that I did for that day. Didn't really record the warm-up. You guys already know what I do for the most part. There's a lot of people in the gym. Not really a lot of people, but you know, it wasn't an empty gym this time. I actually went during normal hours, which I kind of remember the reason why I don't do that. Kind of needed a reminder. I was like, why don't I come in at normal times? You know, I had the day off, or I'd just gotten off this day. I actually can't remember. I feel like I'm always like just dropping days by, like out of my mind, I guess you could say like that. Because like I work a really weird schedule, so I barely know what day it is. I really run by the number of days I have to work, or the number of shifts I have to work. That's what I do. It's not like I live for the weekends or anything like that, because really my weekends could fall on a Monday, Tuesday kind of deal. So it kind of sucks. But yeah guys, for this workout we got conventional deadlifts as well as medium grip bench press. Two of my worst enemies. Well, they're up there. Really, powerlifting in general, just poverty, powerlifting all around. But yeah guys, doing some conventional pulls for working sets, and as well as warming up with sumo pulls as well, just trying to get a good stretch in my legs and my abductors. Doing some decent pulls. My first time pulling 365 pounds in about probably a couple months. It's been a good bit since I've done that max. Kind of just the way I've been feeling lately. I do feel like I'm probably going to take a week off or something. I don't know if I feel optimal doing that. We'll see how it goes, to be honest. That probably 365 pounds is probably the highest I'll go. And let's see, I'll try to figure out something to do for, I guess you could say, peaking. Like, I'm not going to say I'm super prepared for this meet. Like, I've definitely been training for it, but I'm not as prepared as I think I could have been. Like, I definitely could have done like a more concise workout regimen and actually peaked for this meet, but that's not the case, you know, and that's not a big deal, to be honest. I do have plans after this meet. I do want to bulk up to around 170 pounds, as well as try to gain as much strength as possible. I definitely want to get in the 1200s by that time, you know. I definitely want to be around 1300, 1400 by the time I'm out of the junior class, to be honest. And then once I'm out of there, you know, it's kind of like the big leagues, I guess you could say. But, you know, who knows? You know, I might not be built for powerlifting or whatever, you know. This is the strongest I've ever been, and I'm going to keep trying to climb up as best as I can, to be honest. Whether I can make it up to 1400, 1500, maybe even 1600, you know, they're starting to climb up there, to be honest. Those totals are climbing up. I feel like people nowadays are just getting stronger and stronger. But then again, back in the day, you know, when people were doing like steroids and stuff like that, or getting caught, I feel like, you know, because it's a drug tested federation or drug tested sport, depending on what federation you join, but it's not always 100% drug free, as with all sports, really, to be honest. People can test out of or cycle out of steroids or, you know, performance enhancing drugs. I actually wrote a paper on this as well. But anyways, enough of that. Back to the workout. 275 pounds for a set of 6. Feeling super buttery, but at the same time uncomfortable. Went down to 250 pounds. Decided to do this beltless because, you know, to be honest, it's pretty easy. Like 250, even if it's conventional, you know, not my strongest suit. But, you know, just trying to really dial in that form, to be honest. Like, you know, it's just really awkward for me, trying to get that bar as close as possible to me. I just noticed that little girl swinging in the background while I'm watching this video. That's kind of funny. Dang. Oh god. Yeah, 250 pounds. Ended up doing 4 sets of 6. Feeling super easy. Just feeling crappy because it was just deadlifts, you know. I feel like deadlifts, they're my strongest lift, but at the same time, my deadlifts actually have come a long way. There was a time where I squatted more than I deadlifted, and I benched more than I squatted. Like, bench was the strongest lift out of all 3 of them, and now it's kind of just being more normal, I guess you could say. I definitely think my bench is stronger out of all 3 of them, you know, proportionally anyways, how a total should be. But, you know, that's a good thing. So that way, once I get those really strong, you know, I'm pretty damn good. But anyways guys, here's some warm-up benches with medium grip. I always start off with one play. For this one, you get to see me putting on the Gangsta Raps by Mark Bell, or Super Training. I'm trying to think what the company's called, because I know the company's called How Much You Bench. Pretty sure it's Super Training, but I know Mark Wellon's company. He actually, when he went live on Instagram, he was answering questions and stuff like that, and I told him that I would go to his gym one day or within the year, and I told him to remember the name, my name. I don't know why I'm like getting nervous or whatever, but like he actually said it, and I'm like, damn, now I gotta go. But yeah, that's super hype. Like I was like, damn, I'm really glad like people like him, you know, they kind of go out of their way and try to put themselves out there, you know, through social media and stuff like that. It's really inspiring, and they're like super motivating people. I look up to these guys. But yeah, 205 pounds, 6 reps, feeling super easy. RPE 7.5. It's feeling alright, you know. I think the most times I've hit this is like 10 with my competition grip. Woo, dang, sorry about that, had to yawn. I forgot to mention it's 1 a.m. as I'm editing this video. Yeah, it's pretty late, but you know, you gotta keep on that grind, guys. And now, finally, 185 pounds, ended up doing 4 sets of 6, feeling like RP 7.5-ish, guys. Feeling pretty easy, like once I started getting into the groove. It's feeling alright, guys. But yeah, that's all I got for you for this training vlog, guys. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe. I do hope you enjoyed this content. Thank you guys for all the support. See ya. Have a great day.